how to make money online selling digital products. So we have become masters at this since 2020. Prior to 2020, I was outside speaking on stages, flying around the world and speaking on TV channels, some radio shows. So this whole digital world and getting online and then selling online has been a brand new 4 or 5 year plan. And we kind of know the truth. So I'm going to teach you the reality and the truth of what it takes. And I think some of you are going to be shocked what I, as the CEO and owner, have to do versus what the team does. Because a lot of you, you're doing what the team does and you're missing the part that I do, which is why you're not winning online. Second thing we're going to talk about is how to use affiliate marketing, some direct sales, and just put a bunch of combinations of that inside of your funnel. So people have alternatives than just your expertise. I'll explain that when I get to that section, because I have been an affiliate marketer for my entire career. It's how I built my databases on affiliates who would endorse me and I would endorse them back. So those reciprocals have become very different outside of the stage worlds that I knew how to do it. So I'll teach you about that. And then the last thing I want to talk about is how do you start your own YouTube channel, podcast, just channels in general. And in my personal opinion, what comes first, what comes second, what comes third. There's too many of you that you think you got to start with a big book. I absolutely do not agree. I didn't write this book until 2005. It came live in a bestseller January 21st, 2006. I was a millionaire in 1999. I started in wealth building in 1996 when I joined the Rich Dad Poor Dad team. So it was not my first thing. And thank God no one told me to do it, because it is not the beginning part of your career. You need it sooner, but it's not the first thing. So get a pen and paper. We have a lot to talk about. So the reality of making it online. So I think it's hysterical. First of all, I do have to make fun of some of my online experts who say everything you can do online, but they were out, running around stages all over the world. I'm like, if you can make all this money online, why are you out here on a stage in Australia with me or South Africa or Dubai? I thought it was fascinating because I don't think they actually happened. 2020 made it happen and it solidified it at a very different level. So here's a couple things to think about and write down. So to navigate the internet, you have to learn the different platforms. So we're talking eBay, Etsy, Amazon. They can all be profitable, but Amazon takes a lot of your money. You don't get the buyers and you don't get the list. So then you have to go out to social platforms and say, well, do you start on TikTok? Do you start on YouTube? Do you start on Facebook? Where do you start? There's so many channels. There's so many places that you can be posting. Where are you going to get the best traffic? And what we're learning as we're redoing our whole integrated wealth systems website and giving it a big facelift is Google search terms are very different than YouTube search terms. They're different than the Instagram search terms. They're different than TikTok. So you're going to need expert teams who have the ability to stay up to date on these algorithms. So what we did, and the reality of this, is we went out and hired experts in darn near every one of those categories. And they came on top of our team, which is mostly event-driven at the time, and kind of weeded out the team pretty quick, because you have to have a team who wants to dig into this technology, understand the algorithms, does the posts right, and does the structure right. And it's not all the same size, does not fit all channels. And a lot of you, I'm going to say, and I'm going to talk about YouTube in a while, but a lot of you want a YouTube first channel. I would say go to the other channels first. Like we went big on now it's Meta and Facebook. We have a huge Facebook group. So I'm going to give you a link to our growing group of millionaires in training. It's one of the first things we did in 2020 when COVID hit and we came home. I knew what I knew is I went online every day for no money. And I just said, if you have any money question, ask. That's what initiated the Ask Loral campaign. So askloral.com is one of our top profiling campaigns. Ask a question, make a request about money, business, finance, anything you want. So it was a wide open channel. People were asking questions. Should I pay off my credit cards? Should I pay my mortgage? I mean, you have to remember 2020, when the world shut down in March and April, it was a little scary for most people because they didn't know what to do with their money. And I would say, in most of my opinion, they blew it. A lot of people blew their financial status at that moment because they didn't pay their bills right, they didn't pay their debt right. And the people who didn't pay their mortgages, they're still recovering from that mistake. But again, what we did is we went live and developed and delivered a lot of content. Then we went out and we created this Millionaires in Training group that kept people coming. So there's 5,000 people. It's a place where you get to market your stuff. You get to have a marketplace. It's super fun, super cool. And while you're there, I'm also wanting to invite you to our Millionaire Intensive. I'll give you 2 tickets for free. If you really want a few more because you have a family of 6, then bring them all. But it is a very fun one-day event that we do from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock Pacific. I teach you how to be a millionaire, what it takes. I teach you what it takes to start a company. There's 2 engines that drive every company, and I don't get out of bed. I do not start a company without these 2 things. I talk about those. I talk about how do you give offers? How do you actually get on the internet? What are you going to sell on the internet? And then we put you in a marketplace and you sell and make some money. So it's super fun, super cool. Other factors that affect whether you're going to get successful online is you got to have the basics in place. You've got to have a funnel. You've got to have just a free offer. Right? So I do free plus shipping and handling all the time on my books. If you want, I can give you, this is free. I give you the first PDF of my 3 chapters of The Millionaire Maker. I gave you free tickets to my Millionaire Intensive. Once you come in there, then something else will be offered to you, then something else. So it's a funnel. So you start with what's called a lead magnet and you build into a funnel to a high ticket. So if you're in direct sales, and I'm in a lot of direct sales, I love CBD. In fact, I'm going to give you 6 different links that I use to make supplemental money, from nodes, tokens, cryptocurrency, to being an affiliate marketer of mine, to a CBD product. So I'm going to give you 6, 7 different choices of things that I do to make supplemental money inside my funnel. Because if people like one thing, they're going to buy another thing. And it's about following you as an influencer. The other thing you have to have in place is you've got to have the right tech stack. Meaning you got to have the right technologies. And there are so many database structures. We use one called Ask RMS, stands for Rapid Marketing Systems. We use this system implicitly. Why? Because it has an automated campaign builder, one of a kind. So if you go to askrms.com, you can see what we use, and we build our whole platform on that database and that structure to give free offers, to build a campaign. Because a lot of you, here's the biggest mistake we saw during COVID from 2020 to now, is people tried to do all this online selling, digital marketing selling, product selling, by just posting social posts. You post on Facebook, you post on Instagram, you post on X now, used to be Twitter, and you just hope something happens. Unless you put them in a database where you can monetize them, those are just followers that could be eliminated, and you could be put in social media jail, meaning they're going to take down your channel, and now you're back to square one. So building a database is pivotal. So how you put your software stack together, how you text people, how you respond, all of that is pivotal in how you build to sell online. So how do you become affiliate? Again, I've given you all my affiliate links. How I started with Rich Dad Poor Dad. Essentially, I was an affiliate. It wasn't the word at that time. I was a contracted, really expert teaching other people how to sell and teach the cash flow game. So I was a master distributor. So I got that title and I got that opportunity. And then I helped put cash flow on the map. And I thought, well, once I do somebody else's brand, because it wasn't mine. So I cannot tell you how much that helped living in someone else's successful enterprise. I ask people to come work here all the time to learn what we do, and I would be so excited to mentor and coach you on how I did it, and the trajectory of why I went so fast is because I had mentors, I had coaches, I was willing to spend the money on the right experts, and you got to be able to sort out those experts because there's so much crap on the internet. I call the internet the bathroom wall because anybody can write anything and tell you anything, and there are some marketing companies and some, oh, let's design a book, let's do a podcast, let's do all of these things. Really, do you need it all? Right now. What you need right now is to make money based on very simple offers that you know how to do or somebody else's offer. So as I continue this conversation and keep you going on a big checklist of how you're going to make money online, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to click that notification button. I need you here 5 days a week, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, all 5, and then listen to the videos. Because what I need most from you is better knowledge. I need you to get smarter so we can have a up-leveled conversation than just the basics. I know whether you've listened to my channel. I know if you've read my book because you're going to use my words. You're going to understand gap analysis. You're going to understand sequencing. You'll understand forecasting. You're going to understand how we put sequences and plans together. Where a lot of you, you just want it done for you. This is you have to learn it, so you consume the knowledge. I don't want you dependent on me. I want you to be independent, financially free for you and your family. So the last point is, do you start a YouTube channel? What do you start first? And again, go to our Millionaires Intensive. That's what we did first. Then we moved over and we started doing other social posting for Instagram, TikTok, and a little bit in Twitter. I do Twitter mostly for student athletes because that's where most of the athletic community lives. And I love the NIL. I love the NFL. I love sports just in general. So I love working out there in that space on them. A YouTube channel came later. So for a YouTube channel to be successful, you need an amazing amount of content. So those of you that want to start, I would start with a simple interview podcast. That's actually where I would start. Why? Because most of you don't have enough content. You don't even have enough content to write a book because you actually don't know what you're going to talk about. Like, it took me years to put together exactly the distinction of what created the Millionaire Maker. It started with Think and Grow Rich, and then all Bob Proctor's work, and then Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then all of those people that were associated with the Rich Dad Poor Dad group. And then I started simulating what would be my distinction if I'm going to come out and be a money and business expert. So it's going to take a while to do the formation for a book. Interviewing other experts in your category is a great way for you to see what is everyone else doing. And then you start formulating your first book, small, Amazon, quick bestseller. Don't go all the way up. Don't go big. If you want to go New York Times, Wall Street Journal, all the big awards, you're going to spend over $500,000 and you need a very, very specific team to do it. We will do it with and for you, but we are not free either. That comes with a big price tag because it is like doing a bestseller. This is like having a company for a whole year just to do this. So that's not where you start. You start, I think, with interview podcasts, get your content, get your flow, then come live to camera, start doing 1 minutes, start doing Facebook, start doing the small stuff, then build into a content basis for YouTube. And what it takes to do YouTube is a very different search criteria. It's a very different format. Like how we shoot YouTube isn't what we use for any other format. How I shoot my podcast, not any other format. So there's my little success secrets. Start with the podcast, then go to a quick ebook. Don't print, don't spend any money. Go to the small, like 1 minute channels, then build into your YouTube channel, and then go for a big book. I'd love to mentor you through all of it. So I put a link in the description below for you to call our office, have a one-on-one conversation. Let me help you get published, get podcasts, get up, get online, be an influencer. We have done everything you see online since really about 2021, 22 is when we really took off. So you can do it, I can do it, and I love sharing my resources, my team, and my Rolodex to help you win. If you have any questions, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL, one of the greatest campaigns we've ever put together and we won't take down. So we'll talk tomorrow on our channel.